100 specific things are silently taking up space in your home. It may sound unbelievable, but just by letting go of 3 items tonight, you will feel your living space instantly lighter. From meaningless papers, random kitchen gadgets, to those sentimental things that seem impossible to part with. We will gather them into 10 easy-to-remember groups so you can picture them clearly. You will see why professional decluttering services in America always use this exact formula. And one woman, after many years of hiring such services, wrote it down and turned it into her own cleaning secret, saving thousands of dollars. Do not look away, because the last item on the list may be the very thing that has been quietly draining your energy every single day. And before we begin, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support is the motivation for us to keep sharing more meaningful tips. Thank you for being here. Let us start with the first group. Group 1. Papers and junk mail. Papers are the easiest to pile up and also the easiest to discard. Margaret once had an entire drawer full of old newspapers, magazines from 3 years ago, paid utility bills, and long-expired coupons. Every time she opened the drawer, she felt like she had unfinished business, and that heavy feeling followed her. When the decluttering service arrived, they gathered everything onto the table and divided it into 3 groups. Legal papers, medical records, and valid tax documents were kept. Pages that might be needed for reference were photographed and digitized. The rest, from yellowed magazines to old receipts, were tossed right away, shredded or destroyed to prevent leaks. In just 20 minutes, the once stuffed drawer was empty, leaving room for her new notebook. Margaret realized old papers not only took up space, but also cluttered her mind. She wrote down the formula. Each week, spend 15 minutes on the paper corner. Keep only what is truly needed. Digitize the useful. Discard the rest. From that day on, she was no longer haunted by piles of junk mail, and every time she sat at her desk, she felt brighter and lighter. If you want to begin, tonight open your drawer, pick 3 papers that clearly have no value, throw them away, and you will feel the difference immediately. Group 2. The kitchen. The kitchen is always the fastest place to get cluttered, because things accumulate over the years. Margaret once had 3 can openers, 4 wooden spoons almost identical, and an entire drawer of plastic containers without lids. Every time she cooked, she wasted minutes digging around to find what she needed. When the service came, they worked quickly, laying everything out on the table and applying the rule, keep the one best item. 1 smooth-running can opener, 1 sturdy spoon, and the rest gathered for donation. They continued checking the spice rack and found a jar of cinnamon from 4 years ago, a rock-hard packet of baking powder and clumped pepper. All were thrown out, keeping only spices still fragrant and in use. Finally, they pulled out a juicer that had sat untouched in the cupboard for 8 years. Margaret was surprised that she had let it occupy space for so long. The formula was written clearly. Any appliance unused for 1 year should be given away, expired spices discarded immediately, and lidless containers recycled. After a few hours, the drawer was lighter, the spice rack brighter, the kitchen more open. Margaret said for the first time she found cooking truly pleasant, no longer irritated when searching for tools. She maintained the habit of checking 3 kitchen items each month, keeping the kitchen tidy. If you are listening, tonight open a drawer, choose 3 redundant or broken items and throw them away. Your kitchen will feel much easier to breathe in. Group 3. Bathroom and cosmetics. The bathroom seems small, but it holds many old bottles. Margaret once kept 6 shampoo bottles, each with only a little left, plus several nearly empty toothpaste tubes and a big box of dried-out cosmetics. In the cabinet were lipsticks from 3 years ago, hardened mascara, frayed towels, and toothbrushes used for more than 6 months. Each morning she wasted time looking for her usual items, then grew frustrated that none were complete. When the service arrived, they gathered everything on the floor and sorted quickly. Shampoo bottles with just a few drops were combined, expired cosmetics were thrown away due to bacteria risk, toothbrushes were replaced every 3 months, and old towels were folded for donation to an animal shelter. Only the essentials were kept, arranged in clear boxes for visibility. In just 1 hour, the once heavy bathroom cabinet became bright and organized. Margaret realized she kept so much out of guilt, but in truth, never used them. She wrote in her notebook, "Any cosmetics open more than 6 months need checking. Shampoos and body washes should be limited to 1 or 2 active bottles. Towels and toothbrushes should be replaced regularly." From then on, each month she checked 3 bathroom items for expiration, keeping the space clean and light. If you want to start tonight, look around your bathroom, pick 3 expired or worn items, and toss them immediately. You will feel the room more pleasant. Group 4. Health and medicine. The medicine cabinet worried Margaret most, filled with bottles and blister packs she no longer remembered the purpose of. There was cough syrup from 10 years ago, discolored vitamins and expired painkillers after knee surgery. Every time she needed medicine, she dug through the pile, wasting time and fearing mistakes. When the service came, they began by taking out each bottle and checking expiration dates. Anything expired or without labels went into a separate bag to bring to a pharmacy collection program. Usable medicines were neatly placed into clear boxes with large labels to house. Avoid confusion. In just 30 minutes, the once messy cabinet became orderly, holding only true essentials. Margaret sighed with relief, saying she felt freed from the worry of mixing up medicine each morning. She wrote the formula: prescription drugs kept only for current prescriptions, vitamins and supplements marked with opening dates, checked every 6 months. This way she always knew what she had, what was gone, and what was needed. Now, each quarter, she spends 15 minutes reviewing the cabinet. If you are listening, tonight open your medicine cabinet, pick 3 bottles that are clearly expired or without labels, place them in a separate bag, and prepare to take them to the pharmacy. This small action will make you much safer and lighter. Group 5. Technology and electronics. Margaret once had an entire corner full of old phones, tangled chargers, dead batteries, and broken remotes. She always told herself, "Keep it, maybe someday." But year after year, they sat, dusty and taking up space. Every time she opened the cupboard, she only felt annoyed. When the service came, they spread everything on the floor and checked it one by one. Remotes missing battery covers were discarded. Chargers without matching devices gathered separately. Old phones and dead batteries placed in an e-waste box for recycling. Only one of each needed cable was kept, coiled neatly and labeled. After 1 hour, the messy corner became empty, giving space for her notebook and a few important things. Margaret realized keeping broken tech was like keeping unfinished business, burdening her mind. She wrote, "Any electronic unused for 6 months should be given away or recycled. Broken batteries and devices should be handled safely, never thrown in the trash." From then on, she kept a small box by her desk, dropping old chargers or dead batteries inside until recycling day. She said this gave her peace of mind, no longer fearing fire risks or tripping over cords. If you want to begin, tonight open your drawer. Choose 3 tech items you surely no longer use: a charger, a broken remote, or an old battery, and throw them out. You will see your desk brighter and neater at once. Group 6. Clothes and linens. Margaret once kept an entire closet packed full, including dresses from her teaching days, suits that no longer fit, and even brand new shirts with tags still on, bought many years ago. Each morning when she opened the closet, she only felt suffocated and spent many minutes, yet still could not choose something suitable. When the service arrived, they pulled everything out, hung it on racks, and asked one straightforward question: "Have you worn these within the past year?" For most clothes, the answer was no. Outfits that no longer fit, torn dresses, stretched underwear, and faded towels were all removed. Damaged underwear and old towels were gathered. Faded sheets and flat pillows were also replaced or given away. At first, Margaret felt regret, but when she looked back and saw her closet now held only well-fitting, easy-to-wear clothes, she felt lighter and more confident. She wrote the formula: clothes not worn in 1 year should be given away, underwear replaced regularly, towels and bedding checked every 6 months, and only 2 to 3 spare sets kept for guests. Now every morning she chose her outfit in seconds and always felt comfortable. If you want to try, tonight open your closet, pick 3 items not worn in 1 year, and fold them into a donation bag. You will see your closet clearer and yourself much lighter. Group 7. Keepsakes and children's items. This group touched Margaret most deeply because each item carried memories. In the small room next to her living room, she had 4 large plastic bins filled with her children's kindergarten drawings, old birthday cards, broken toys, and dusty stuffed animals her grandchildren had long outgrown. She always told herself, keep them to look at later. But for years, they only sat untouched, taking up space. When the service came, they laid everything out and guided her to choose 3 to 5 truly meaningful items for each child. Special drawings, a handwritten card with touching words, or a toy tied to a family memory. Those were kept, placed in albums, or displayed on the wall. The rest she photographed and saved into a folder, then donated or discarded. Clean, intact stuffed animals were wrapped and donated to a children's shelter. At first, Margaret teared up, feeling like she was throwing memories away. But then she realized true memories live in her heart and in photos, not in dusty bins. She wrote the formula: keep a few meaningful items, digitize the rest, never let a whole room become a storage warehouse for the past. Now, instead of staring at old bins, she saw neat albums and a few keepsakes in bright spots. She said that was the moment she felt she was living with her memories, not weighed down by them. If you want to try tonight, open your memory box. Choose 3 items you truly wish to keep. Photograph the rest, then close the box. You will feel lighter while your memories stay with you. Group 8. Holiday and decorations. Margaret's garage and attic were once filled with holiday boxes. There were tangled Christmas lights with many broken bulbs. Halloween decorations her grandchildren no longer cared about. and even gift wrap bags from 10 years ago. Every holiday season, she grew frustrated opening dusty boxes, finding broken strings of lights, then putting them back with the thought, maybe next time. When the service came, they opened everything and sorted quickly. Broken lights and shattered bulbs were discarded immediately to avoid danger. Intact gift bags and wrapping paper were bundled neatly, and extras were donated to the local school. They kept only one small box called Next Season, which held the items sure to be used for the coming holiday, along with a few meaningful keepsakes like the glass ornament chosen by Margaret's late husband and the hand-knitted socks made by her mother. Thanks to this, each holiday she opened just one box and decorated in minutes, no more tangled cords or dust. She wrote the formula. After each holiday, check everything, discard broken items, keep only what makes you smile, donate or toss the rest. She said that since applying it, holidays became lighter and happier, no longer a burden. If you want to try, tonight open your old decoration box. Pick 3 broken or unwanted items, discard them, and keep only what you truly want for next season. You will see your home tidier, and your next holiday will begin with joy, not exhaustion. Group 9. Garage and Garden. Margaret once called her garage the forgotten storage. Inside were paint cans dried solid for years, expired pesticides, cracked pots, broken plastic chairs, and rusty gardening tools. Each time she opened the door, she sighed at having no room for her car, narrow walkways, and a garden corner filled with junk she still kept. When the service came, they started with safety. Any paint cans, chemicals, or pesticide bottles past expiration were separated for proper disposal, never mixed with household trash. Broken or rusty tools were grouped for metal recycling. Pots still intact were kept, extras donated to neighbors or gardening clubs. After just one session, the once stifling garage became clear, and Margaret could park her car and still walk freely. She wrote the formula. Opened chemicals older than 1 year must be checked. Tools unused for 6 months should be given away, and only keep enough pots to manage. From then on, she kept the habit of setting aside one morning each quarter to review her garage and garden corner. She said walking through a clear path, no longer fearing tripping or smelling chemicals, made her feel safe and light. If you want to begin, tonight step into your garage or garden. Pick 3 items broken or unused, discard or recycle them. You will find the space brighter and more pleasant. Group 10. Pets and Miscellaneous. This final group is often overlooked, but still takes up much space. Margaret once kept 4 pet beds, 2 flattened and covered with hair, and dozens of broken or one-eyed toys, dangerous for dogs and cats. On top of that was an entire cabinet of plastic bags, cartons, and shopping bags from many purchases, kept with the thought might need later. When the service arrived, they gathered everything quickly. Good pet beds were washed and kept 1 or 2. The rest were donated to animal shelters. Broken or unsafe toys were discarded, keeping only a few truly loved by her pets. Plastic bags and cartons were kept only in small amounts. The rest was recycled. After that day, the messy corner became tidy and her pets had clean, safe places to rest. Margaret wrote the formula. Pet beds should be replaced regularly, broken toys discarded immediately, packaging kept in small amounts only, never piled up. She realized she did not need to keep everything to prove care, only what was truly used and brought joy. After years of paying thousands of dollars for services, she finally learned the formula of 10 groups, 100 items to declutter by herself. Now, she no longer depended on anyone. saved money, and felt proud of doing it with her own hands. She shared this story, hoping you will start with a single drawer, an old paper bag, or a broken pet toy. Decluttering is not about perfection, but about creating a home that reflects who you are today. Thank you for joining Margaret on this journey. If you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support is the motivation for us to keep sharing more meaningful things.